homemakers, it's been a long time since I've had a grocery haul to share. I haven't done a grocery haul since probably March. I was going to do one in April, lost the footage, and then I had my surgery and haven't been out to do one. I've just been picking up things hit and miss here and there. So this day I thought, okay, there's quite a few things we need. Let me just go ahead and get those. And today's grocery haul came to $347.64. Now, I will admit, I did pick up a few things for one of my sisters, but it was just a few things. I probably spent less than $10 picking up the things that I picked up for her. And then the rest of the stuff was all of ours. So, I'll show you what I started with. And one of the things that caught my eye early on were these lovely red grapes. And Kroger had these grapes on sale for $1.88, the red ones and the green ones. And the red ones tend to be a little bit sweeter. So I went ahead and got them. Now, have I tasted them yet? No, because I don't taste grapes in the store anymore because of, first of all, that's stealing the grapes. And then secondly, because of bacteria and that kind of thing. So I did get some grapes, and one of the things that I do when I start grocery shopping in the summer is picking up more fresh produce. We like to eat more fresh in the summer and in the spring and summer, and so you'll see the results of that. So grapes, and then Kroger had these Honeycrisp apples for $1.99. Which isn't, let's say, the best price, but it is not apple season right now. So $1.99 was pretty darn good because some of the other apples were more like $2 or $3 a pound. So got these apples, and then cantaloupes are in season right now. So I picked up a cantaloupe. We can have that in the mornings for breakfast with toast or whatever else we're having. And since it is almost summer, we've got some really nice warm days right now. I picked up some Simply Lemonade, and it is the raspberry lemonade. I love lemonade and I love raspberry lemonade. So I picked up a jug of this to get started with our summer drinks. Also picked up a bag of these roasted mixed nuts, roasted deluxe mixed nuts. My husband likes to have these to snack on, so I got some of those. And then I picked up a couple of packs of this bottled water. In the summertime, we started using more bottled water. Grab a bottle, take it with you on the go. And then since he's doing more fishing and yard work, he likes to have these bottles on hand. And we like the small 8-ounce bottles. I don't know, how many of you look around your home when people have had bottled water and you see half-empty bottles of those 12 or 16-ounce bottles sitting around somewhere? Tell me in the comment section below. So we buy the 8-ounce bottles, and so we have less of that, but even with the 8-ounce bottles, it still happens. So got a couple of those. And then also in the produce section, I got some limes, and these limes were 59 cents each. We have a lot of Mexican-themed foods. We have tacos on Taco Tuesday. I didn't need to buy taco shells because I already had some. At least I think I did. Because I got some last week, so I shouldn't need any of those. But I did need more lime. And then I also needed some carrots. We were out of carrots. Can you believe that? I always have carrots in the fridge. But since I've been using things up quite a bit, and on Sunday when I made that roasted chicken, I used the last of the carrots and the last of the celery and the last of the onions. So I had to get carrots. Celery was, I believe it was $1.49 for this stalk of celery. And I plan to make the zuppa Toscano soup. And you need to make that with kale. So I got some bundles of fresh kale while I was at the grocery today. Just noticed a fly over there. When my husband brings the groceries in, he props the screen door open, which means any bugs out there is like, hey, come on in, come on in. So I just saw a fly, so we'll have to take care of that as soon as we can. But in the meantime, summer also means we're having lots more sandwiches. At least he's having more sandwiches. He'll make a sandwich to take fishing sometimes, peanut butter or maybe deli meat, Or he's been having lots of toast with cinnamon sliced apples that I've canned with that. Or we might have an omelet with toast. So, and I made grilled cheese the other day, and it was so good. Hadn't had grilled cheese in a while. So I had to pick up a loaf of bread. And then, of course, gotta have some fresh peppers. I was out of peppers as well. So I was really down to the nubbins for almost everything. This is just a tomato that's rolled out of somewhere. And then picked up a cucumber because we have lots of salads in the spring and summer. So that means you need cucumbers, tomatoes. I didn't get any radishes. I probably should have. But cucumbers and tomatoes. So these are the beefsteak tomatoes. And I like those. There ought to be more tomatoes. These Roma tomatoes somewhere. I'll look. But anyway, he's frying a lot of fish now. So typically what he'll do when he brings it in, and after he gets it cleaned up, I help him process them into freezer bags. And so he'll set aside a batch to make for breakfast that day. And then when he fries it, he likes to have fresh sliced tomatoes with the fish as well as bread. So gotta have lots of tomatoes now. And then I needed potatoes. We were out of potatoes, so I didn't have any potatoes for Sunday when I made that roasted chicken. Otherwise, I might have slipped some roasted potatoes down in the bottom of that pan for them to kind of absorb some of that broth and get all nice and juicy. Picked up a carton of the Chobani fat-free Greek yogurt, and I use that quite a bit with our nuts and berries. Now, what are nuts and berries? Well, we'll have strawberries, blueberries, a little yogurt, and we'll put the strawberries and blueberries on the yogurt, sprinkle some pecans or walnuts on top of that. And if I've made granola, we'll put a little of that on, and that might be breakfast, so my husband calls it nuts and berries. Once he said, I want some twigs with my nuts and berries, so I found some parsley, like some little stalks of parsley that I trimmed out of my herb garden and dropped some parsley on top. It says, there are your twigs. So there's that. And then also picked up this carton of spring mix. I like to have that with salads. So we'll have that. Picked up some onions, and here are the strawberries. So these are the fresh things. Oh wait, no, I'm missing something. I also picked up some Mexican style cheese. Again, we have lots of tacos, lots of burrito bowls and things like that. So picked up some Mexican cheese, and I think these were on sale at Kroger's. I think they were like 2 for $5. So got one of those. And then some Land O'Lakes butter, and these are the short sticks, so you get like 2 of the little short sticks to equal 1. I like those for some reason. And then some of the Land O'Lakes butter spread. This is the olive oil and sea salt butter, and it's a little bit softer than the other butter, so it's easier to spread on toast. And these are the fresh and dairy items that I have at this point. So let me get these put away, and then I'll show you what else I've gotten. Now these are a few other freezer items that I got, and I got some of this cherry berry medley, and it's got strawberries, cherries, blueberries, and blackberries in it, and I use it for my smoothies. And now that it's warmer, I'll be having more smoothies. Plus, I'm trying to limit how much coffee I've been drinking. My weight loss goes better when I don't drink coffee. Why do you say? When you say, well, coffee didn't cause you to gain weight. No, it's not the coffee. I like a little coffee with my cream and sugar. So I like a lot of cream in my coffee. So I'm trying to have more smoothies instead of that. And then I'll show you in a little bit some of the cream that I put in my coffee, as well as some other goodies that I've learned to make these fancy dancy coffees. But anyway, I like to use these to make some smoothies with. And I make those smoothies with my Vitamix blender. I have had this Vitamix blender for, I don't know, at least 5 years, and I bought it at one of those home and garden shows that my community has every summer, or every spring I should say, and I was so impressed with the way the guy was making smoothies, and I bought one, and I've had it ever since. And I've been looking at a couple of the Vitamix commercials. Not that I need a new one, because I don't. This one's perfectly fine. But they were talking about so-and-so's first Vitamix, or passing down the Vitamix, like they keep the Vitamix that lasts so long that you pass it down to a child or something like that. But this is what I've been making my smoothies with. And then we also like to have shrimp. So my husband can fry this shrimp and it comes out perfectly. Whenever I cook this breaded and fried shrimp, it comes out like little round marbles, and it's real tough, but he makes it perfectly. So I picked up this family size C-pack of classic butterfly shrimp, and it does come out golden and crispy. And I do like the coconut version of that, but I can rarely find it. And then we've got a new appliance. Let me show you this. Ta-da! My husband got this touchscreen air fryer by Bella as a Christmas present, and it took him a while to get started using it, but now that he has, he's loving it. It's got this really deep basket, and it even has a shrimp cycle. So we've not tried the shrimp in it yet, but we will. And when we do, I'll let you see. So there's that. And then one of the things that when he's making breakfast or lunch or even dinner sometimes, we like to use this Johnsonville beef smoked sausage. He likes to make sausage and potatoes, like with potatoes that are sliced, and you fry potatoes with onions, that kind of thing, and then you have the fried sausage. So I picked up some of that. Easy breakfasts, easy dinners. And if you need something quick for your family, sausage and potatoes is a quick dish, and it's very filling. And then I needed some bacon for the zuppa toscano. You take 4 to 6 strips of bacon, saute that, and then crumble it up, and you put that on the top of the soup. So I needed to pick up some bacon, so I picked up 2 packs because it was on sale. And I like the double thick, double smoked bacon. So this will be great in the zuppa toscano. And then I picked up some Bob Evans sausage packages. And what I will typically do is break the package in half, and I'll put half of them in the freezer, and then we can get those when we need to, and then the other half I'll put in the fridge. And then let's say on Saturday morning or Sunday morning he wants to make sausage for breakfast, he'll get this out. So there's that. And then this sweet Italian sausage is going into tonight's zuppa toscano soup. And now, this is one of those things where I wasn't reading very carefully. It looked like Kroger's had shrimp all over the place on sale today. And they have this easy peel, raw shrimp, shell on, and medium size shrimp. Well, first I looked at the large size shrimp, and I thought, oh, I don't think I need them that big because I like to make shrimp and grits for my husband. So I thought, well, the medium size will be fine. Got home, got them out of the bag, and I'm like, hey, these aren't peeled and deveined. I gotta peel these myself. So I hurriedly called Kroger and said, hey, I just left the store. I bought this raw shrimp. Can I bring it back? And she's like, if you bring it back, we have to toss it. So no, she said, there's something wrong with it? I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't read properly. And she said, well, I'm sorry. So 2 bags of easy to peel raw shrimp. So we will see. So raw shrimp, shell on. So I'll be making some shrimp and grits, and I'll let you see how I do that. So let me get these things in the freezer, because one thing I do not like is for this fruit to thaw out, and then when it rethaws, all the fruit is all glummed together in one big ice block. So let me get these in the freezer, and I'll be back. Oh, not this. But let me get these other things in the freezer, and I'll be right back. And you know what I'll do is I'll take out the bacon that I need for tonight's soup, and then I'll put half of it in the freezer, and then, or rather, I'll put half of it in the fridge, but this other pack, I'm going to split it in half and I'll put it in the freezer, because we don't eat bacon that often that I would need to have this much bacon in the fridge, and I don't want it to go bad. like to get the 90-second rice for my husband. Now, he has learned to cook regular rice. I came home the other day and he had made a pot of rice. He had got some out of the jar, cooked it for the 20 to 25 minutes that it needed, and it was delicious. I was like, what got into you? He said he felt like rice and we didn't have any of the 90-second rice, so he read the directions and he made some. So now that I know that that can happen, I won't feel so bad when we don't have the 90-second rice. Now, I will tell you, the Kroger 90-second rice is very good, and it was, I believe, 2 for $3 today. And then the Ben's original 90-second rice was, I think it might have been 2 for $5. It was a little higher. Regardless, it was at least 30 to 40 cents higher than Ben's original. So I got the Kroger brand, and I have gotten the Kroger brand before, and it was pretty good. So we like to have rice as a side dish, so we'll have rice quite a bit, chicken and rice, beef and rice, rice with tacos and beans and that kind of thing. So we have a lot of rice around here, so we needed some rice. So I got the long grain and wild rice, jasmine rice, whole grain brown rice, and the red beans and rice. So this is the 90-second rice that I picked up. And then another little goodie I always pick up for my husband. He likes to chew gum, and so I picked up this extra long-lasting flavor spearmint gum. So I got some of that. Now here's what I use for my fancy coffees. And I don't do fancy coffees all the time, but every now and then when I want a fancy coffee, I always have the caramel macchiato creamer for my coffee. If I don't have any creamer, I can't drink coffee. I just won't. And then I like to put sometimes the Ghirardelli chocolate or the Ghirardelli caramel sauce. It just makes the most delicious fancy coffee. And my sister, Mickey Blue Skies, can make some fancy coffee. She is like a little frother. She's got one of those little beast machines and all this kind of stuff. Oh, they just come out so delicious. But these are the things that I got for my coffee. Whereas I get this all the time, these tend to last a while, but I'm trying to cut back on that and drink more tea. I can drink tea black, like I don't have to have any sweetener in my tea, and it's just fine. So I've been having more tea in the morning sometimes instead of the coffee, but every now and then I just have to have some coffee, so that's what I do that. We were completely out of ketchup. We were reduced to using those little packages. You know when you get those extra little ketchup packages at Kroger or Chick-fil-A or somewhere like that? We've been scrounging around using those. So I did pick up some ketchup, and notice, it's the Simple Truth ketchup. It is not the Red Gold or the Heinz that I usually get. This was $1.99. The other ketchups were like $2.50 or higher. So here you go, $1.99. So that's what I picked up. We do like orange juice, and we like the Simply Orange. We prefer that. This one has the calcium plus the vitamin D, which as older adults, we both need that, but it's also pulp free. Our kids wouldn't drink anything with pulp in it. My husband will drink it if there's pulp in it, but he prefers it pulp free. So pulp free Simply Orange juice. Taco chips for the taco bowl that we're going to be having sometime next week. And then I have got to keep chopped pecans or broken pecans around here. We use pecans a lot in the morning with oatmeal. We have pecans with our nuts and berries. And then my husband has been sprinkling pecans on top of his cinnamon rolls. So we use a lot of pecans. And then he likes to drink these Coke minis. I don't drink Coke anymore because, you know, it's caffeinated, and you guys know it just kind of works with my heart. So I don't get that anymore. But he likes it, so I picked up the Coke Mini, and I don't think they were on sale, so I just picked up one carton of that. As far as vegetables, I did take a look at my extended pantry shelf, and we do have these things on the shelf. But I wanted to pick up some to replenish because I've been eating from our fridge, our freezer, our pantry, and our extended pantry, particularly while I was down and wasn't going out shopping or hubby was cooking. He was either raiding that shelf, looking what we had in the house. So we've been depleting some of those resources, so I'm gradually trying to rebuild those. And a couple of times we used the beef chunks, and I do have a video where I showed how I used the beef chunks to make some beef Manhattan. It was so good. But I picked up one of these, and with the price of beef today, I thought, well, let me just get one can so that I can kind of gradually start replacing some of the ones we've been using. So, got these canned goods. And then we always use black beans. We use black beans every week. Black beans in tacos, black beans with burrito bowls, black beans in chili, black beans in soup. So I picked up a 4-pack of black beans. It was $3.29 for the pack. That's the Kroger brand. And then picked up a 4-pack of the Kroger diced tomatoes. And again, it's the Kroger brand. It's $3.29. So I was going with the store brand today. Whatever I could get on sale or the cheapest price, that's what I was doing. And then, of course, we always like the Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch. I don't like soggy cereal, so I like to get the Raisin Bran Crunch because it doesn't mush up. I can get it eaten before it gets all soft. So there's that. I feel like I've been talking at warp speed, so these are quite a few of the things that I got today. And oh, I do have a few other things down here on the floor, so I'll get this out of the way and I'll come back. Now, one thing we were out of this week was paper napkins, and I like the Vanity Fair everyday napkins, so I picked up a pack of these, and these are about $6. And these are the kind I like. If I get those cheaper kind that are a lot thinner, then we end up using 2 or 3 of them, whereas with these we could get away with just using one. So I did pick up some of these. Now, while we were out, I took some of my paper towels and pulled them off the roll and folded them up and put them in the napkin dispenser, and it works for the time being, but I don't like using my expensive paper towels for that purpose. And then we also needed some tissue, and so as you know, if you've been following me for a minute, you know that we like these small boxes, and these were, I think they were either 3 for $5 or 4 for $5. I don't remember, but anyway, I got the Kroger brand. Didn't get the puffs, got the Kroger brand. So got 4 boxes of these tissues, and I always get 4 boxes at a time. That way they last, especially now that it's fishing season. Sometimes when he comes in off the lake, he's a little bit more snuffly than others, and then early in the morning, he may be a little bit snuffly. So, got some facial tissue. And then I saw one of my YouTubers that I like to follow had purchased one of these. It's called Scrub Mommy. Have not tried it, but it says dual-sided scrubber and sponge. And so I'm going to give that a try. We'll see what it's like, and I'll let you know whether or not I like it. And then these are the kind of dish sponges that I do like. And they're the yellow dish sponges, either by Dawn or there'll also be some by Scotch. And they're just yellow on one side, and you've got your scrubber on the other side. And I only buy these yellow ones for dishes. And I started doing that years ago when I was a young mom, because I discovered that if I had more than one color sponge in the kitchen or in the house, I'm like, okay, so was this sponge used to clean something with, or is this the sponge used for dishes? So I decided yellow sponges only for dishes, and if the sponge is another color, it's a cleaning sponge. And I don't have those other color sponges in the kitchen. But it was just something that I learned in my 50 years of homemaking, to just kind of narrow down how many different products or different things that I use. And so when my family sees yellow sponges, they know those are sponges for dishes. And speaking of 50 years of homemaking, I've got a new series that I'm working on called 50 Years of Homemaking. Well, it's called What I've Learned After 50 Years of Homemaking. And this is just one of them. But I'll be giving just different little tips and things like that, of things that I've just learned since I became a homemaker. And it just kind of things that made my life a little easier. So I do have one video up already in that regard, and it is regarding my nighttime kitchen cleaning routine, so I will link that in the description box below. And then here is some coffee. It's the Green Mountain Blend. It was on sale. The Starbucks decaf was not. And funny thing, when I was down, I sent my husband out for coffee. He came back with like one of those big 22 pod boxes of Green Mountain, but it was regular. I said, babe, this isn't decaf. He said, well, it's the green box. Well, I said, you know, you're right. It used to be the green box was always decaf. Now it's not. Now you have to look for the little stripe on the box that says decaf. So we ended up taking that back and getting the regular. But just thought I would let you know, the green box doesn't necessarily mean decaf anymore. You got to look for the little strip that says decaf on the box. So there's that. One of the reasons why our grocery bill was so high today too is because I needed just some incidentals, you know, things that you use, pantry staple kind of things, like some Ziploc storage bags, and then also some quart-size Ziploc storage bags, and then some gallon-size Ziploc storage bags. Needed some of those. Because sometimes what he likes to do is after we get the fish processed, he will take several packs of the fish that maybe it's the same kind or the same date and put them in one large gallon bag and put that in the freezer. Then that way he can kind of get them out that way. Or like if he has a certain, well, over time, you know, you want to get them out in a certain amount of time. So when they're in a bag that says 2024 June or 2023 June, then he knows, okay, I need to get those 2023 ones out of there. So that's what he does. And then of course he uses those Ziploc storage bags for all kinds of stuff. And this is something that I was absolutely out of. When I helped him with processing the fish the last time, I used up the last of my Clorox cleanup. I ended up having to pour what was left in the bottle on the counter and in the sink to scrub it out, because I always wipe the counters and the sinks down after we're done with that. So I needed more of this. So got some of this. And then I had not bought paper towels or toilet paper in almost 2 years. Since the pandemic, and I had kind of started stocking up on toilet paper and paper towels, and each week I would just buy a pack or two and just set it aside. Well, now we've gone through all of that, and so the last time I bought groceries, I had to pick up paper towels and toilet paper, and so this time I picked up paper towels and toilet paper. So now I need to get out my food processor and get that sausage taken care of so I can get it in the freezer. So I will get this off the counter so that I can do that. I'll be right back. I'm going to label this bag. Just so later I don't forget what I put in here and the date. Oh, this bag is too small. What was I thinking? And now that bag is wasted. Here we go. Now we'll get this vacuum seal. Now I'm going to get these apples washed up. Let me just spray them first of all. This is just a little, oh shoot, look at that. I got a bad one and didn't notice it. I have to make sure to eat that one up right away. This is just a little fruit spray that I made with vinegar and water. And I know if I put these apples in the bowl without washing them, he won't wash them. He'll just wipe them off on his pants and say, oh, they're clean enough. So I do like to give them a good washing. I can't believe I picked up that bad apple. Now I'm going to give them a good scrub. I'm going to put that one on top, so he'll get that one first. You can cut that piece off, but the whole apple's not bad, just part of it. And I got out a clean towel. I pitched the other towel that I had. When I say I pitched it, I put it in the wash, in the laundry, I should say. And then I'll put these apples in a bowl and just set them here on the counter or on the table. And when he sees them, he'll eat them rather than reaching for some other not so healthy snacks. We do have some of the other not so healthy snacks, but he'll have to look for them to get them. And for those of you homemakers out there who have been wanting individual coaching, I do have that available now. I'll put the link to that in the description box below. You can sign up for that on my Patreon on the Bella or the Novia level. And then here were my meats that I'm going to put in the freezer. That's going on the counter. These are going in the freezer. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to tell you. I left these out so I wouldn't forget. Grapes. You don't wash grapes until you're ready to eat them. So what you don't want to do is take out a whole big bunch like this, wash it up, and then put them in the fridge or in a bowl or something like that. You want to just break off the piece and wash off the part you're going to use right then and there, because it'll cause the little areas around the stems to rot more quickly. So, just thought you'd want to know that. And for you young homemakers out there who are feeling completely overwhelmed and would like some individual coaching, I have opened up some additional slots in my coaching program. You can connect with me through my Patreon membership, and you'll want to choose the Novia or the Bella tier. I'll put the link in the description box below. So for more homemaking and homekeeping inspiration, click this video next.